Hello guys, and welcome to another Top Table Wargaming YouTube video. In this video we are going to be reviewing a release from Unreleased Miniatures, and we are going to be reviewing the Noble Kingsguards with shields. These are an elvish unit. You get 3 poses in the blister. They are metal, they come with swords and shields. We'll get straight in and we will start from, let's say, left to right. All 3 poses are very kind of dynamic, which is nice, and we'll start with the one on the left, why not. So barring one, the models are 2-part, which is the whole model is 1 cast barring the sword. The end one's slightly different. I'm not too sure why, but I will show you that in a second. So as we can see, again, it's lovely work on the elvish armour. I'm kind of noticing, I'm not sure if it's intentional, but the scale seems slightly smaller on these guys to previous releases. Again, I don't know if that's intentional or if it's just something that's just happened kind of you know, without them realising, but nonetheless it's very nice work. As we can see, they've got the armour, they've got the cloak, they're looking very regal, the long hair, the slender elvish face. I do have a mould line through the face. For myself, that's not going to be a problem. I can sort that out, no problem. If you're not overly confident with getting rid of mould lines, I would suggest being very careful. Don't go in there rubbing with a file. Let me try and get a picture of it. With a file at a face, because you will start removing a lot of the detail, noses, chins, etc. And it would be such a shame, because the detail on the face is very nice. So that's the first pose. He's kind of striding forward, fist clenched, and then he has his sword arm, which will attach like so, looking like he's ready to sort of take on a bunch of wild orcs as they're coming at him. That's pose 1. I'll get to the shields at the end. Pose 2 is more of a holding his ground type pose. The legs are both firmly planted on the ground. He's not stepping forward. It looks like he's just maybe cleaved off the head of his enemy. Really nice. Again, the thing I like what they've done with these 3, although the faces are unmistakably elven, with the features, the high cheekbones, the ears, and the slender face. Try to get a good picture of that. Can you see? I'm focusing in. They are different. All 3 are different, so they instantly sort of, you can tell them apart, which is cool. Again, I'm a lover of the design, the idea, the concept of this elvish armour. I just think it looks awesome. And it's got a lot of mail sheeting underneath. These do look like guys that you wouldn't want to mess about with. They do look like elites, and I think they've done a really good job on them. So yeah, so that's his sword arm. The joins on the arms to the body, etc., there's no issues with them. They slot in nice and easy. Again, I say it, and I probably will keep saying it, I do recommend that you pin these things. It's a terrible thing, I've done it myself in the past. You just glue them, you do a nice paint job on them that you're really happy with, and then in game, or you know, packing your models away or taking them out of the box, you may drop them, the arm or whatever the part is comes off, and it takes some of the paint off, and even when you glue it back you can always tell, and it kind of ruins the model. So for an extra couple of minutes when you're prepping, get these things pinned. So on to the third guy. He's slightly different because both his arms are separate pieces. So he's a 3-part model, but again, you can see more because of the pose on this guy. You can see more of the chainmail, and it's done very well. Got a little bit of flash, and sort of you get this if you look on the underside of a model. There's a lot of metal in this. It's quite a heavy, thick model because of the way the sort of the cloaks flow in and the undergarments, etc. And you get at this rough area here, and all you need to do with that is get your file and just smooth it off. Just get it not too flat. Don't start, you know, taking off parts of the cloak and stuff. Just get rid of all the roughness. And when you paint your model, when you undercoat it, make sure you get the underneath. You just leave that be, and with that being black, you will never see it. But if you leave the roughness, what you'll tend to find, you will see it when it's on the table. You'll see the little sort of sharp bits sticking out and stuff. It doesn't look very nice. So make sure you file that down. But other than that, it's cast really well. Nice face, again different than the other two. The hair slightly different. It's unmistakably an elf. It's done very, very well. Yeah, I like that. The other arm, it's a slightly different pose. He's sort of, it looks like he's kind of striding forward. So he has one arm, the sword arm, which is sort of behind him, and then this other arm, once you attach it, is going forward. So he's like sort of in motion, heading into battle, which is nice. And that is the swordsman. Now, with each of them, you get a shield with each of these guys, and you can also get these shields separately, I've been told, from the website, so check that out. Really like the detail on the shields. Very sort of, how can I say, I keep using the word regal, but it is very regal. There's a lot of elegant designs in there. They've done a really good job on that. That painted up's going to look nice just with a coat of gold and a wash of a sepia wash, and then picking out the highlights, gold again, and then maybe a very, very light dry brush of silver. That you'll be amazed how well that will come out. There's also a lot of people now who are painting these types of shields, and that central, the most elevated part of the shield, you see that they're making that into a jewel, which looks nice. So you can paint that into as like a blue jewel or a green jewel or a red jewel, whatever colour jewel you like, with the gold embedded in the gold shield, and it looks really nice. So that is the Noble Kingsguard. In this pack you get 3 metal miniatures. They each come with a spear and a shield, as you'd expect, and we're going to get straight in there and look at these guys. 3 separate poses, all very, very nice dynamic poses. Again, I've spoken about before, yeah, these are the kind of poses that I like rather than the static ones. The design on them, very similar to the sword and shieldsman. It's all exactly the same armour. This is basically just another option. If you didn't want them with swords and you wanted spears, this is the things you want. So as far as going into detail with the armour, etc., it's very, very similar. One thing which I do like, and you can probably see it better in these, excuse me, is the sort of, I'll show you using this. Let me get me camera there, and then can you see these sort of neck chest plate things that are a little bit more visible on these models, which is nice. You get the 3 poses. This one is basically just sort of thrusting his shield forward like so. Each model's a 2 parts, so you get a couple of arms and a spear as one part of the sprue, and the main body is the other. This middle one is my favourite of the 3 poses, just simply because it's slightly different. The face, if I show you, has like a crown on it. I don't know how well that's going to pick up. I'll put a screenshot in somewhere, maybe at the beginning of the video, or somewhere around now, of the green, and you'll be able to see the crown more clearly. And yeah, I just think things like that just sort of, you know, gives things a bit of sort of individuality. So yeah, you can see that he's kind of stabbing downward with the spear, which I think is nice. You don't see that very often. It's more of a realistic, how you would, you know, if they were in battle. This one is a really nice one as well. The way he's kind of thrusting it with the one arm. Sorry, get you that picture would help. You can see that he's kind of thrusting his spear forward. That is a really, really nice pose as well. And again, there's a lot of detail gone into the armour on these guys. I'm really impressed with the elves so far. This is the 3rd video of these noble elvish Kingsguard type elite unit. and they've all been really nice, and these are no different. Again, you get the shields, which we went into detail with on the swordsman review. Very nice detail, lots of stuff there for you to pick out and just make them really pop when you do the paint job, which is cool. We always like stuff like that. Anything that makes painting easier is a good thing, and as much texture and detail on these things, you know, you can just give them a, just after you first wash of sepia ink or a flesh tone ink over your gold, if you're doing them in gold, that is. You might want to do them in silver or brass, whichever you suit, but once you put the wash on with all the detail that's on them, they just look awesome straight away. So I always like things like that. So that is the Noble Kingsguard with shields and spears. I hope you've really liked the video and the releases which we've done reviews on in the past week. I know there'll be a lot more coming from Adam and his team. I've got a lot more reviews to do on a few other things, not just miniatures. There's a few books on reviews on actual games which are in Kickstarter at the minute, or, you know, have just been released. Lots and lots of stuff to come. I've got a couple of guys who are going to help me out on a few videos, and that's going to take a lot of pressure off me. So, you know, keep the faith, keep watching the videos, keep liking the videos, commenting, sharing. I do appreciate every single like, share, comment, even the dislikes. Like I've said before, you know, constructive criticism is great. It helps me improve the content that I'm pushing out for you guys. So yeah, so keep it coming, and keep on gaming. I will speak to you soon. Take care.